Yep, everything looks almost good. There we go. Yep, sweet, that's better. G'day and welcome back. It's been a little while. I got caught up with some work stuff, so I was unable to do an episode last week, but we're back up and running with a slightly longer episode this week. Quite a lot's happened the last few weeks.
We've been absent for 2 weeks, but there's nothing short of drama or talking points to go over, so I'm looking forward to the show.
Yeah, we'll start off with match weeks 7 and 8 from the National League. Dominion Road Derby, Auckland City continue to establish their dominance in that with a 4-2 win. Pakistani international Harris Zeb opened the scoring, and yeah.
I believe that Harris Zeb goal was goal of the week, I'm pretty sure, for that week. So it was a good hit. It was a great goal. Auckland United getting a penalty to make it tie, and I thought, game's on here, but Auckland City just ran away with it.
Yeah. And then Miramar Rangers continued their race to the final, well, their last-ditch attempt at making the finals with a rapid-fire run of goals. Martin Bueno scoring 2 goals in 3 minutes, then Derek Tiku pulling one back a minute after that before an added time sort of lead doubler from Munoz.
It was a really good. I remember watching the Bruno goal back again. It was a great finish. Just kind of wrapped it.
Yeah. And then Western Springs tucked away the Knicks reserves pretty comfortably. Reed Drake with a brace, Ben Wallace with the third. Love scoring against the rest. Love scoring against the kids. What can he say about Ben Wallace?
Yeah, I actually went up to this game, and I've got to say I'm very impressed with Western Springs. They are such a lovely club to go and see. Proper good setup with all their club getting around both their teams, and yeah, it was Western Springs just so strong. They're getting to that point of the season where they're starting to hurt teams more.
Yeah.
And making a good run into that grand final, which hopefully they should be in.
Yeah. As of right now, they are the best defensive team in the comp with only 6 goals conceded. And speaking of fewest goals conceded, second place, Auckland FC Reserves. I was in attendance at this game, a 1-1 draw between Western Suburbs and Auckland FC Reserves. And speaking of club setups and whatnot, Western Suburbs are another one. What a club. It's tucked away in this little field in the middle of nowhere in Porirua. And I was coming down the road in my Uber, an hour before the game, as I usually do, and for these kinds of games. And all I see is just this group of 40 fans, kids and adults alike, blowing on vuvuzelas, chanting, just making noise. And it was really nice to see at this level, I had a chat with some of the staff there, and Luke Castley came over and had a bit of a yarn as well, and it was just a really great time.
I can't say anything less about Western, proper good setup.
Yeah.
I love it how they do a pre-game march, even though it's not might not be the biggest team of all, it's still a pre-game march, and that game that I watched, what a game, by the way. It was AFC Reserves. Thought they did almost. They could have lost the game in the end.
Eli Jones, great save.
Eli Jones, great save. And you could see that it meant a lot to them. So fair play to them. It was a good point for them.
Yeah. And then Birkenhead crushed Christchurch United and have most likely ended their finals hopes there with a 3-0 win. Donkers scoring one early. Slingsby with a brace before half time, and just kind of cruised home from there.
Finally, we get the Burko again that we know and we always love. It's not the Burko that we had for 2 weeks in a row. It's the Burko
Setting them up for failure there, mate.
It's a Burko that we know.
Burko's so back.
They're back.
uh,
And yeah, we'll get into week 8.
Wellington Olympic had the bye in week 7, and then week 8, next reserves, Luke Flowerdew with another second half goal to win it. Not too dissimilar to how he did it against Wrexham. 1-0 win over Coastal Spirit. Still no Nick Petherick goal.
No, disappointed. It was actually interesting to see their schedule for that game, getting up quite early and flying into Wellington. It's quite interesting to know the schedule of an amateur football in a league like this, and you're spending 12 hours on the road for a 90-minute game.
Yeah. And then we moved down to Christchurch United, who too little too late bounced back after their 3-0 loss to Birkenhead with a 3-1 win over Western Suburbs. Also making a bit of a late charge for possibly one of those non-OFC foreign spots for South Island United with a first half brace.
Yeah. Christchurch United were very good in this game. I think that they might have missed their keeper, who was on international.
Quillan Roberts for Guyana.
So might have missed their keeper, but all in all, I think Christchurch were.
So there was Western Suburbs keeper that was on international duty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And then Miramar Rangers pumped the shit out of Auckland City. Martin Bueno with a penalty in the 27th minute. Etima scoring a few minutes later, and former Knicks player Louis Fenton just really sprinkling it on at the end, just after the second half. Yeah. And possibly ending Auckland City's hopes and advancing their own. Auckland City, I'm not ready to write them off entirely yet, because I've seen them get out of stickier situations. So once they're mathematically out, I'll call it dead. But as of right now, it seems like the only team that can challenge Springs and Olympic for one of those final spots is Miramar Rangers.
I think Miramar in this game, they were absolutely brilliant. They're same with Springs, they're hitting their peak at the right point.
Yeah, Bueno has just been incredible.
Yeah, incredible. But yeah, Auckland City, I've written them off already. I don't think that they're gonna. I think personally, I think we've already got the 2 grand finalists already sorted. However, no, we might not. We've already got one. I think Springs are.
Well, speaking of the unsurety of that result, Auckland FC reserves 2-1 over Wellington Olympic. Olympic at this point, this realistically should have been 3 points, despite the issues they had with travel, and this could very well cost them their place in the grand final. Bazookas with an early goal, Finn McKinlay with an absolute fucking rocket, and Ralph Rutherford, Wreck-It Ralph with a late winner.
Oh, love to see it. Love to see it for those kids. Olympic scoring very early on. I was like, okay, here we go. It's just going to be one of those games of Olympics going to put 4 or 5 past some kids. But credit to them, man. They stick at it. Finn McKinley, what a goal! To win goal of the week, and then Wreck-It Ralph to do it right at the end. Oh.
Yeah, if memory serves me right, it was pretty much a full strength defence as well, because it was Phoenix, Nabenu, Visilic, O'Leary with pivot of McKinlay and Mitchell, I think it was, with Eli Jones in net, which is basically as strong as that reserves team could be.
But yeah, full credit to AFC. Absolutely brilliant. I feel terrible for Olympic and their woes of a travel day. But yeah, AFC reserves did it properly and did it quite well.
Yeah.
My way there was played on turf. With Fred Taylor Park being deemed unusable.
Yes, that was due to one half being 5 metres longer than the other for some reason.
I mark lines all the time. I don't know how you cock it up that bad.
I've seen my time playing cricket. I remember a very famous one among our club, which was the guy went to mow around the square side of the pitch, but somehow he came in and then out again.
Quickly line.
Yeah.
It's quickly
Yeah,
line
so-
like pretty much we can go apart.
Definitely he had been on the piss, so that may have played a factor, but we'll never know.
True.
And then, speaking of Burko is back, Burko is in fact not back. Blowing a 2-1 lead late on to bottom of the table Auckland United. Well, previously bottom of the table Auckland United.
Auckland United were actually really good in this game. I think it might have brought the best out of Auckland United. I think they were really good. Just like I had a look in these stats afterwards, and it's literally they had 3 shots, 3 goals.
Yeah. Very clinical. But yeah, that Birkenhead pretty much just continued my point of them just being a glass cannon. Like Wellsbury, Donkers, Hughes, Phillip, Susky, but nothing much else. Vandenhoven and Boddicker basically make up their midfield and defence. And yeah, Western Springs at the bye. They'll be chuffed that they're still sitting on top of the table after that. Yeah. And we'll just quick look at the standings. You've got Western Springs on top, 16 points. Olympic second on 15. Miramar in third on 13. Auckland FC Reserves fourth on 12 points. And Christchurch United fifth and sixth with Auckland City sixth. Both on 11 points, but Christchurch United do have a bye to come. So they're as good as dead and buried. Birkenhead 7th with 9 points. Auckland United move all the way up to 8th. Suburbs 7th. Suburbs 9th and Nix 10th with both on 7 points. And Coastal dead last on 4 points.
Yeah, so last game of the season, actually, like we're on to it now, and I'll bring everybody's attention. Last game of the season could literally be the semi-final.
Yep.
One semi-final, pretty much, was Miramar Rangers versus Wellington Olympic. So that could literally, either team, if Miramar win against Olympic, they could be in the grand final. So
no buys between now and then for either of them. They're through their buys. It's all just it'll come down to that essentially. A must-win game for Miramar. Should both teams continue to win.
AFC Reserves maybe a little bit surprised with how high up they are.
I am. I thought we'd maybe be in and around that 7th, 8th. I backed their ability. Like, we finished 9th in the Northern League. Like, the Northern League is competitive, but you'd figured, like, if 9th in the Northern League, you're probably looking at 8th, 9th in the National League, you know. But the recruitment has been fantastic. Aston Burns, Sam Lack have both been brilliant. Visilic has really come into his own in the minutes that he has played. Semyon Abenu's been playing a bit more regularly as well. A couple of contributions from Ollie Sale and 45 minutes from Nando Peinica helped a bit. But you can't give them full credit for how well these lads have done. Second best defence in the league. Basically just continuing on where the men's team is left. That's sort of the synergy that both Auckland and the Knicks aim for with having a assistant coach coaching the reserves. Yeah.
So, and like credit to AFC, Christchurch United, probably where we thought they would have been, maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, I thought they'd be in and around challenging, and I think they did that, but they have fallen away as the nature of this league format creates.
The next three of City, Burko, and United. We all thought they would have been a little bit higher. Maybe not United as such, but
I figured they'd at least be done.
Burko.
I figured City and Burko would be far more separated from Auckland United, is what I thought. But yeah, kudos to Auckland United for really sort of reeling it in the last few weeks. And City and Burko just not up to the pace.
Yeah, a little bit surprised, but then like you need to, in this kind of format, you need to score goals.
Yeah.
And you don't have an out-and-out goal scorer for Burko at the moment.
Yeah. Speaking of goals, Western Suburbs, hot start, but quickly fell away. only so the 8-0 win can only carry you along so far, but yeah, I think this is. I think I'll be happy with this. They've come out, they've got some bloody good wins. Really shown some spine, been a bit unlucky at times with some results. But I think they'll be happy with how the season's gone and how the likes of Barton, Ginger, and Nguyen have played.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be fairly happy with how they've gone on this season. And then obviously the bottom two of Phoenix, and Coastal.
Yeah. Though the Phoenix reserves have been impacted both by international World Cups and an injury crisis within the first team.
Yeah.
So there's only so much that can be done about that. Coastal Spirit, very surprising. They looked like they'd recruited well. They were coming off the back of a Southern League title, but just a poor showing.
Yeah, completely. But that's the nature of National League A, is that you literally go to the next step up, and it's an unknown for most of them. So
yeah. We'll move on to next week's fixtures. Olympic Christchurch United. I think Christchurch United, they'd probably be eyeing up an upset here. Olympic, though, I think will be in the middle of course correcting, so we'll be looking to really put the nail in the coffin on that final spot, if possible.
Well, it's a homecoming of sorts for Paul Eiffel and his assistant Henry, because of them obviously being at Christchurch United. I've got a feeling this could go either way, but I'm probably going to say Olympic because they are at home, and Wakefield Park seems to be a fortress for them.
And the Phoenix Reserves travel to Kiwi Tears Street to take on Auckland City. I think Nick's Reserves should hopefully get some reinforcements with the likes of Andrew Carr James returning to the Wellington first team. Whether that's enough to deal with this Auckland City team, the only thing I could see they're hoping for is that maybe, because Oceania Pro League pre-season is not far off from starting, they may be hoping that a couple of those Auckland City lads might get picked up and taken off into the distance.
Well, it's like I said this earlier in the week to a couple of people. I said if the Phoenix Reserves want to make a big statement, they could do it this weekend and be Auckland City. It'll be a good game. It'll be a good, interesting, tough game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then another team looking to really just settle their place in the finals, Western Springs away to Coastal Spirit. Surely we're looking at 3 points for Springs here.
I can't see Springs folding. I mean, at the end of the day, it is football, and we all know it's a 90-minute game of football. Anything can happen. However, it Springs. They're hitting their stripes. They've just come off a bye week, so I don't know what they've been up to. They might be fine-tuning a little bit of their press, but
if there's ever a time for a late Nick Petherick winner. We've been banging on about this all year. Nick's got to give it to us at some point.
Goal.
Just one.
Just one.
Then Western Suburbs host Auckland United in what is ultimately a dead rubber. I think Suburbs will be looking for 3 points here. They've been in a bit of a rut. Barton Ginger's continued his goal scoring form, though he's continued to be a threat. So again, I think this could swing either way.
Yeah, me too. Auckland United's got good players, so has Suburbs. This could literally go either way. Both teams, it's kind of a dead rubber, but both teams will be playing for pride, and obviously Suburbs being at home, no doubt more of the Vulu Whalers will be in attendance.
Yeah, and Miramar Rangers will be travelling up to Auckland against Birkenhead, and Birkenhead had a few outgoings, but I imagine they'll still be looking to be party poopers from Miramar, and I think they're still very much capable of managing that.
I think Burko is the squad able to cause upsets. They'll want to be party poopers. I'm sure about that. Rangers, their attack is one of the best attacks in the league, so I know they'll be wanting to score a couple goals and make sure that goal difference coming in doesn't come into account. But literally either way for this. So I think this weekend I will go Wellington Olympic. I will go a draw with the Auckland City Phoenix Reserve game. I'll go Springs. I will go Suburbs. And I will go for a draw between Birkenhead and Miramar Rangers.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, Auckland FC Reserve's also on the bye, so after that it'll just be, I think, Coastal and Christchurch with games in hand left. Just a quick question in the chat from Hit No Sync. Do you think this format could have been better with three phases, third places fifth, then a fourth plays sixth playoff, then winners play top two for the final? I think not really. The season's getting on at this point. You played 30 odd games as an amateur player. Like at this point, you kind of just want it to be over, you know.
You want the season to be over. You, if you know anything about like Northern League or Central League, you are starting in late January. You are getting into preseason.
Yeah.
We're now in November. When's it time to say enough is enough football? You need to have a break. You need your body to recover. So I think if anything, semi-final and final make it a little bit more interesting. But then you won't be finishing until mid-December.
Because like that's an issue that South Melbourne are likely going to come across with how the Oceania Pro League, NPL Vic, and Oz Championship align next season, with it running basically Jan through December. Like it's going to be very interesting to see how they manage that. Yeah, and you've got some coaching announcements to make for Melville United.
Yes, we announced earlier today. I'm really happy I can actually say this. That unsung hero, Waikato legend and New Zealand footballer Aaron Scott will be co-coaching with Harry Trafalgar for the Northern League next year. So I spoke to Harry a little bit early on. He said that he's happy to be back. He was the academy director a couple of years ago. And he's happy to get back. He's very excited. I'm sure Aaron would be the same. Aaron's like Boys High, first 11 football head coach. I will just be looking forward to it. I was speaking with the club president earlier this week. He seems to be really happy, and he is looking forward to next season. More announcements to come. But yeah, everybody at the club is more than happy to welcome the two back. And also, Tarina Vanui is back as the women's first team coach, and they'll be taking a little bit more of a serious league this time with the teams for the women's.
Yeah, she's
so
also
all things go in the Waikato for Melville.
Yeah, she's also the Auckland FC Women's Talent Development Centre coach, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Tons and tons of promising coaches at Melville, and I tell you what, as a Melville boy, as a Melville fan, as a Melville member, I am looking forward to next season. So
yeah,
and obviously with Christchurch United announcing Albert Vieira as their national league coach for next year. So
yeah. Now that's pretty much National League wrapped up. We'll move on to the derby. Auckland FC 2, Wellington Phoenix 1.
Oh god.
You made a comment about seeing weaknesses within the Auckland defence. Do you still back those comments?
No. I kind of remembered after having a couple of drinks on Saturday night. I kind of remember the comments that I said, and I was like, "Oh no, this is bitter me on the arse."
Yeah, I don't necessarily think the Knicks played bad. I just think they came up against a team that is the ideological counter to them, and not necessarily because like you can have teams that are like that are worse than you, and you dominate and thrash them. But we're a team that does that box defending very well. We're more than happy to sit off and let the opposition have the ball. And, 28 seconds. Channel ball from De Vries. Called it, by the way. That was something I pointed out in build-up.
Yep.
Channel ball to Randall. Randall squares it to Cosgrove. 1-0 after 28 seconds. And then Cosgrove, proper poacher that he is, steals Jesse Randall's chip. Goal that Jesse Randall worked hard for and probably should have been awarded to him.
Can I just say though, that is a goal, is the best goal in the derby so far.
Yeah. I would. It'd be cope to say it isn't. Like the closest that comes to that would probably be Rogerson. The goal number 5 from, what was it, 25, 30 yards out. That's about the only one that comes sort of near that. But yeah, I think Eze on his weak foot, fucking top bins, great strike. Yeah, so Hall, Rogerson, red cards down to him. I'm kind of curious how you were feeling. Like, red card after 50 minutes for us, then another red card with 2 minutes to go, and then another, 12 minutes of added time?
I literally yelled at the top of my voice at the pub, fucking get at them. All this carry on, I was like, yeah, and then, like, nothing.
Yeah. Because, like, out of the Porter was kind of like, when that second red happened, it was like, fuck, squeaky bum time.
Like, I'll say this, it's harder to score when you're playing literally against 9, defending the box for their lives.
I think a factor that hasn't really been spoken about a lot is I think the Knicks panicked when that second red card happened, because a 10-man Auckland, being a goal down to a 10-man Auckland who you know are going to defend, like it's sort of like they're the best defensive team in the league. I don't think anyone would have been too fussed if you guys had ended up losing that game with just the one red. That second red turned it into a must-win game for the fans, because all of a sudden you don't just have an advantage, you have a 2-man advantage. Like, you got to get something out of this game. And rather than, isolating defenders and using their numbers advantage, they just kind of lobbed it into the box and just hoped.
Yeah.
Which is basically what we were hoping for. Nando Peinica, Callan Elliott made an absolute beautiful block, nodding it over the post. Nodding it over the crossbar. Peinica had more than his fair share of clearances. De Vries as well. Howieson put in a shift. It was just a lot of grip on show from Auckland there.
When a team is down to 9 men, you want to move the ball, and you want to move it with some sort of pace, and you want to wait for that little opening to get that you will get, because there'll be tons of gaps. But they just keep on trying to dink it over. Like, I was getting so frustrated. I was just like, move the ball, stop dinking. I
think you guys were a little bit unambitious when it came to... Because, like, the thing is, we went down to 9. There's no one that is going to be chasing anything. No one is leaving that box. Like, realistically, you probably could have pushed Oluwayemi up as the third centre-back and then pushed another body forward, into, like, the midfield or something, and then pushed another body into attack to try and, exasperate those advantages. But, like, just never saw it,
It's game awareness.
Yeah.
Be able to do that, and it shouldn't always come from the head coach. It should probably come from one of those players just being like, we need to. There was tons of stoppages, so you just need to come together and just be like, boys.
We ended up like 3 minutes over, I think, of the initial 9 minutes of stoppage, and yeah.
So, but on to the next one.
Yeah, December 6th, the World Cup draw is that morning, so I'll probably do a stream for that morning of. And yeah. Also, Wellington playing Macarthur, 5 o'clock Saturday at home. Then Auckland FC at home to Brisbane Roar against Brisbane Roar, 3 p.m. Sunday as well. So yeah, and then moving on to the international window. 2-1 loss to Colombia, 2-0 loss to Ecuador. Personally, not too fussed by those results. I thought, considering we were missing about 4 starters in that first game, then Bell was rested due to having a title charge on the line and a bit of fatigue. Boxall as well, both rested. So that's arguably 6 starters not playing in that second game against Ecuador. Yeah, I think I was a bit disappointed we didn't get more out of that Colombia game, but again, I'll take those results.
2 very good results.
Yeah.
We're not getting thrashed, which is the most important thing, especially against like Colombia, who've got such a good team. It's really good we're not getting thrashed. It's saying to me that we're competitive.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think I've been saying this for a couple of years now, that we are starting to get more and more competitive because we've got more and more players in the big European leagues.
yeah, because I see a lot of people go, like, really wanting to join AFC, which, and so they can play more competitive games. However, that doesn't necessarily line up because, like, thing is, I would rather pump talent through into Europe than be an AFC. Like, I think that is more beneficial to New Zealand football than playing in Asia. Because the risk you take with Asia as well is a lot of those pitches are not up to standard. The last thing you want is to bring Chris Wood down, have him, do a knee in and fucking fall out of his club team, or because he had to play in Myanmar, And like, no disrespect to those kinds of countries, it's still like I just don't see the benefit, especially when a path to the World Cup has opened up to us. Pretty much guaranteed, really. And yeah.
Yeah, it's. I have no idea when the. Do we know when the next friendly is for the All Whites?
It will be March, the March window.
March.
So.
Hopefully we've got games in New Zealand. I would love to see a couple of games in New Zealand as a farewell tour before they go to the US.
Yeah.
But it's logistically hard to get games in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Good to finally see a goal that's not scored by Chris Wood in an international game.
Yeah. Being old tidy finish.
I'm still waiting for a because I think we've only got one game plan at the moment, and that's just get the ball to Chris Wood as quickly as possible, and hope that he can do something. So,
something that I wouldn't mind seeing is Callum McCow as that 9. Like, he's 5'11", he's got a pretty solid build. I think he's got an eye for goal. I think he could be more than suitable as a stopgap 9 in place of Chris Wood. So, yeah, they put Ben Old one wing, Elijah Just on the other. I think he got a pretty solid front 3 there.
Because I think Darren Bayliss will probably have his goalkeeper and defenders all sorted. I mean, it's straightforward picks, really.
Paulson, Crocombe, probably Sale as that third keeper. Bindon, Boxall, Sermon as your sort of 3 main centre-backs. Maybe a Pinecker in there somewhere. Maybe a Stanger, depending on his form. Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to more international football.
Yeah. Oh, Callum Elliott a bit hard done by, I feel. But unfortunate that Sakai injury came a week out before the international break because the team had basically already been picked by then.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate. But I expect to see him in March. I was a bit surprised he didn't go at all, considering, Payne's injury. It felt like the right time to at least have a look at him. And instead they take Storm Rue, who played, 20 minutes, if that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately I'm pretty happy with the international window. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll see Matt Dibley-Dyers pull on the white shirt.
One day, hopefully.
Yeah, but we'll wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll hopefully be around next week to talk about National League, and yeah, cheers.
Anything that comes up in between. Don't forget to watch the games on FIFA Plus or actually go to the clubs. Support your local.
Yep.